Pick up the sign-up sheet.
I got it.
You got it, man?
Just one.
Okay.
No, three. One at the bottom.
Said I know which one.
You do.
You still want to do this, put this out in September?
It's up what Buddy wants.
Stuff that you work.
Whatever.
Ain't nothing up to Buddy. Put the vote off for these till September, because there's more coming up next month.
Cause there's some more that I didn't highlight for September, but
Okay.
we're gonna, that'll kind of take care of all of it, I think, for the most part. Do it one time, please. Thank you.
Okay, you still got the full-time employee at the Veterans Office, haven't you? All right. Okay.
I don't have it. It's only because you here. If you pull this up, it will be there. I thought that was the whole reason I had all these laptops and stuff.
Jim Jenkins, there he
Joe
is.
can pull it up.
Good.
I'm getting ready to
Okay.
get her going.
I don't think I'll need it, just in case anybody has a question. I don't know. I hadn't heard the hammer hit yet.
About 30 seconds.
That clock says 2 minutes till back there.
No, it's 59 right now. Pat, you keep signing down at the bottom. I'll miss you. Put it up to the top. Pat?
You'll never forget.
Oh,
Are you sure?
That's good.
Exactly.
Listen, we're not doing any things tonight.
What'd you do now, buddy?
Got me again.
What is it? Hit him, Aaron, hit him with something. That was the highlight of the meeting last month.
Yeah.
Aaron was just about to give him the club when the bee flew off.
It was just a folder.
Buddy, you ready to go?
She don't have a gavel.
You ready to go?
Cause I would've swung it around.
Okay, I'm gonna call the Loudon County Commission Workshop to order for July 15th, 2024. We have 3 people signed up to speak. Gary Bush.
Okay, good evening. I wanted to address a number of things regarding the last county commission meeting held on June 24th with regards to the 25-cent tax levy increase for the upcoming year due to tie to the education debt service funds. It appears, in my opinion, at least 6 of the elected officials of this commission, and they're basically that their constituents are in favor of this tax increase is not in line with the pitchfork and torch-carrying residents of Telegraph Village, as one member had publicly stated. I can personally state that I know for sure that this is far from the truth. Since June 24th, the Cross County Citizens Organization has been actively working behind the scenes, raising awareness to this tax hike. And about basically through all 7 districts, and about 75% of the constituents that we're in contact with are all against this, or they didn't know anything about this tax increase based off the levy that was proposed. They thought the levy was going to be the flat tax which was proposed or put out in public notice. Tennessee, or Loudon County, is one of 3 county districts that basically using the county budgeting law of 1957, TCA 512, 101 to 512, 114. Any county that adopts this law or budgeting system provided for in this part in accordance with 512, 102 shall follow the general procedure set forth in this part in the preparation, adoption, and execution of all budgets, respecting all funds, activities, and agencies of county government. The Budget Committee in Loudon County is comprised of 4 members that are county commissioners. These are hand-selected officials from the county mayor, which is the chair of the Budget Committee. My question is, why do we have non-commissioners basically on this Budget Committee? In the case of this tax levy, this appears to be potential conflicts, since one of the Budget Committee commissioners made the motion to increase the tax, and another member of the Budget Committee seconded the motion for Budget Committee, presented to their tax levy resolution for votes. So the committee presented the levy as flat, and then it was overvoted. I'd make a strong recommendation going forward that no more than 2 commissioners should ever sit on the Budget Committee, effective January 1st, 2025. Members that sit on a Budget Committee should not be allowed to make a motion to make any change to the tax levy that is different than a recommended levy coming from the Budget Committee for the Commission to vote on in the future. Why didn't the Budget Committee chair governing this committee be in accordance with TCA 512-105 through TCA 512-106, which is with regards to local education agency LEA budgeting requirements during the budgeting cycle. The Budget Committee is responsible for approval of the needs of the school district, which includes the education debt services for each budget year. The Budget Committee, by not taking this up during the budget year, failed its responsibility for oversight of the LEA financial budgets. By presenting the County Commission the Budget Year Resolution 06-24-24A, fixing the levy at 1.5183 outside rate and 1.3883 inside rate, where year over year was a misrepresentation to the public of its intention. That's a major failure. In TCA 512-108 budget proposal, the public comments and committee revisions, 10 days addressing public hearings in committee, shall cause the proposed annual operating budget to be published in a newspaper general circulation to include school funds and debt services that should include comparison of proposed budget with current year or prior year. Nowhere have I been able to see that the 0.38 versus the 0.13 was ever posted in public documents. County governing body actions on budget. The committee shall deliver the county governing body the budget appropriation resolution and tax levy resolution, which they did, but that one showed this budget staying the same. There are a number of other areas of concerns and questions if and how the budget process was questionably or possibly not followed properly. Some commissioners continue to attempt to make this an issue focused on residents of Telco Village versus they're based off their lifestyle, which is far from the truth. Almost 50% of Loudon County residents are now living in more upscale housing by choice and are a major contributor to the fact that Loudon County today enjoys a very favorable tax revenue situation. The lower level income residents, however, living on tight budgets will also be impacted. This may force them to make a choice on food, medicines, or paying the tax, knowing that if they don't pay their tax, they easily could lose their homes. TCA 9-21-208 is a voluntary election, offers this commission an option to put this on the ballot in the upcoming November election by sending this increase back to the Budget Committee. Basically, the chair to hold an election in accordance with TCA 9-21-210. I would ask this committee to consider.
Okay. Blake Moore.
Good evening. At the Gettysburg Address on November 19, 1863, U.S. President Abraham Lincoln said that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. I hope that this commission will let those words sink in. Of the people, by the people, for the people, because I firmly believe that this was not the case as it relates to the recent decision to implement a revised property tax levy and allocate an exorbitant amount of money to build a new school that is significantly higher than the average cost in Tennessee without a properly vetted plan. Whatever words we utter should be chosen with care, for people will hear them and be influenced by them. At a recent commission meeting, Director of Schools Mike Guerin stated that he received his information regarding growth projections from Commissioner Shaver, and Mr. Shaver stated emphatically that every line in his provided information was correct. Words matter because at a subsequent meeting, I believe it was the vice chairman of the school board that stated some of Commissioner's data was not totally accurate. Words matter because just a couple of weeks before the vote to increase our property taxes occurred, I asked 3 elected officials in this room if they had read the full proposal from the schools, and they said they had not received a copy. Therefore, a $115 million blank check was subsequently written to the schools to do with as they saw fit. That is a monumental decision to have been made without exhaustively vetting the plan. Words matter because the motion that was made to increase the tax levy to $1.7683 on each $100,000 of assessed value instead of on each $100 of assessed value means that our county may be potentially bankrupt in about a year. It has been suggested that this was just a slip of the tongue and that everyone knew what he meant. But the minutes and the passed motion do not match, and again, words matter. Commissioner Shaver was recently quoted in the News Herald as saying, "We're not planning to build all the stuff to solve the problems today and tomorrow or even next year. This is a problem-solving step for decades." If this decision was made to solve potential problems for years down the road, what other problems down the road are we not preparing for? And how do we even know, since my pleas to see our county's 5-year comprehensive strategic plan have gone unanswered? Why is that not important to our local elected officials, and instead we are being faced with spend and tax solutions on an as-demanded basis? I'll state it again, words matter, and I would implore you to not let those that have laid down their lives for our country to have died in vain protecting our rights to have a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Please remember that you were elected or appointed to represent all taxpayers and provide due diligence with every dollar spent and prepare for the future with a comprehensive plan and not just a blank check for debt that our children will be paying for decades to come. Thank you.
Pat Hunter.
My name is Pat Hunter, and I am a 5th District constituent of Mr. Shaver and Mr. Morrison. I would like to first talk about the mayor's boards and committees. They were not included in the packet, and I hope that we have a comprehensive list of committees, because I know that last time it was disastrous. We learned from citizens that the commission had been voting and approving a dead person. So I hope that this is forthcoming. The other thing is, with regards to the budget committee, I'm requesting that all 4 county commissioners be replaced with at least 2 members that are not members of the county governing body, and that the mayor pick other county commissioners to rotate. I think it's only fair that everyone have a chance for various committees. The other thing is, my husband is a veteran, and we respectfully request that the Veterans Service Office be fully staffed by veterans. My husband served his country, and it's only fair that we have veterans serving veterans. The other thing is, there was, Mr. James is not here, but he was gonna present a resolution for county commission to approve. I hope that this is tabled until next month. I contacted Rose White today, the E911 director, and I requested the vote with regards to this issue. It has not been voted on by the E911 committee, and I think it should start there. It may be a very good idea, but I also think that we need to know the financial consequences. If there are any, it should be fully vetted. The other thing is, with the 911, I know that Mr. Shaver likes to talk about Lenore City not paying their fair share, and I'm not for anyone who escapes paying their fair share. This is a user fee, but in the agreement that your county attorney drew up back in 2009, it says that the funding, county shall provide funding up to the amount of $540,000 annually, but it is supposed to be paid by the funding sources from the municipalities and other emergency service users. And then it has a list, so they should be paying their fair share. I pay my fair share whenever I use my telephone, my cell phone. My husband does too. The other thing is, the conflict of interest with Mr. James. I believe that the county attorney said there was no proof. You can go to the school board packet, and it's located in April, May of 2023, and in, I believe, May of 2024. It shows that there are two people with the same last name, Mr. James and Bridget, and they do receive a stipend from the school board. They have last year and this year, and there is an increase this year. So that should be examined. I know that in the agendas it used to say conflict of interest, and I remember Commissioners Brewster and Tinker always had to read their conflict of interest. And I spoke to Mr. James about it about a year ago. He really didn't care what I thought, but it's important, most especially when he serves on the ethics committee, and I don't think he should. The other thing is, lastly, is the budget committee approved for $450,000 for the fire marshal fees and bidding. It was my understanding, and I don't have my papers with me, that either in the 2.6 or the 3 million we paid for architect fees, concept fees. I thought it was also to go out to bid. I also thought that it included the fire marshal fees, so I would like that clarified. I would hate to think that we're approving it twice. Thank you.
Jim Jenkins.
One time.
Thank you, Commissioner. So this item A is a resolution amending the zoning map of Loudon County, Tennessee pursuant to Chapter 713-7-105 Tennessee Code Annotated to rezone from A1 Agricultural Forestry District to A3 Developing Agricultural District, Loudon County Tax Map 082, parcel 007.00, located at 826 Oakland Road, Loudon County, Tennessee, situated in the 4th Legislative District. This was recommended by all commission at the meeting for approval. And if I may, to expedite this, I'll give you the locations. These are all 5 rezonings, and I'll give you the map parcel and same TCA. So the next same TCA to rezone from C2 General Commercial District to A3 Developing Agricultural District, Loudon County Tax Map 084, parcel 038.00, located at 7588 Highway 411, Loudon County, Tennessee, situated in 3rd Legislative District. C, same code annotated to rezone from A2 Rural Residential District to A3 Developing Agricultural District, approximately 5.25 acres, Loudon County Tax Map 011, parcel 383.01, located on Martell Road, Loudon County, Tennessee, situated in the 6th Legislative District. This was a unanimous vote by Planning Commission also. D, same Tennessee Code annotated, to rezone from A2 Rural Residential District to A3 Developing Agricultural District, approximately 1 acre only, Loudon County Tax Map 042, parcel 388.00, located 7600 Little Valley Road, Loudon County, Tennessee, situated in the 1st Legislative District. Where am I at here?
E.
E, same Tennessee Code annotated, to rezone from A2 RE Rural Residential District to single family exclusive overlay district to A3 RE Developing Agricultural District, single family exclusive overlay district, Loudon County Tax Map 056, parcels 052.00 and 054.00, located at 4790 Steaky Creek Road, 5042 Point Church Road, Loudon County, Tennessee, situated in the 4th Legislative District. Adjoining parcels, looking to rezone to be able to adjust some lot lines, same owner.
Did you say Sticky Creek or Sticky?
I apologize, Mayor, it's Sticky Road.
Okay. I'm just
Sticky
making-
Road.
I hope I've got that correct.
Okay,
also.
just making sure, thank you.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Item F, same Tennessee Code annotated to rezone from A1 Agricultural Forestry District to A3 Developing Agricultural District, approximately 1 acre only, Loudon County Tax Map 060, parcel 120, located at 5710 Brook Road, Loudon County, Tennessee, situated in the 3rd Legislative District. And these that say only, it's because there may be large tracts of ground, and rather than rezone the whole parcel to this, they just wanted to rezone the needed area. The remaining tract will keep the same zoning.
And you said all these past planning commission
They were all
unanimously?
unanimous.
And so people were able to go ahead and rezone their property just like they wanted to? All
Yes,
those
sir.
scary things we heard didn't happen? I was worried when I heard all this, never can't do nothing with your family farm and all that.
They
Works
were
just exactly like we designed it to
going through
work.
the process, yes.
Fantastic.
Just curious, do you have to subdivide to just do 1 acre?
Yeah, we're having to subdivide, but so, there's tracts that may be 5 acres, but they're wanting to pull off. This one on, Brook Road, they've got a family farm, 34 acres, he's wanting to just build his house, subdivide off, so we're saying approximately 1 acre,
Okay.
Give them a little leeway, once they create that, we'll assign that zoning to that parcel, the remainder will keep its existing zoning.
Anything else for Jim? See you on August 5th, we'll vote on them all.
Thanks, sir. Y'all have a good
Yeah, one time. Vote them all one time.
One time, you wanna do
Thank
it
you.
one time?
Thank you.
Okay.
That would be great.
Mr. Mayor, if it's okay with you and Mr. Chairman, I'd like to add to the agenda, Ms. Brewster. She's here to talk a little bit about, some things that are going on at our veteran services. And I thought it would be good for us to hear what they're facing and what they're doing there now.
Can we add that right there, either before or after Buddy's part about the veteran service office?
Follow me.
Put it right there underneath
I'll
Buddy,
put it
after he
right
does
there.
his thing, she can do her thing.
Okay.
You go first, or?
However you
Yeah.
want to do it.
My request would be this commission approve an additional full-time employee to Veteran Service Office. Payments to be 16 until or unless certified by the state of Tennessee, at which point pay would go to $17 per hour. That'd be my request. Our office continues to be full. I'm sure Kelly will tell us all about it. Just a better way to serve our veterans.
This is full-time, 40-hour-a-week job?
Yes, it would.
Put that up
We've
for a
got
vote in
somebody-
August.
Couple options there too. It puts somebody in there, definitely, of course, Chris Brewster, she's part-time, but with 2 people, if there's a vacation, somebody's in that office all the time, and may even look at somewhere down the line, exploring, maybe having 1 day a week in Loudon, 1 day a week in Greenback. That's something down the road, that's for future planning, but we definitely like to see additional full-time employee there.
You gonna do boards and committees there right quick, or what do you wanna say about those?
Well, I've talked to Penny, instead of doing them in August and September, let's do them all in September rather than beat it to death twice.
There you go.
So I'll table that, and not put it on the agenda.
The vote for the Veteran Affairs additional personnel will be August 5th. Kelly?
Thank you, I appreciate it, thank you, Betty. Mr. Chairman, can I approach just to hand out some
Sure.
papers?
Okay?
Yeah. Just me.
Okay.
Live on TV.
Don't worry.
Like a shirt.
You're not used to being on this side of the podium.
I'm just here to brag just a little bit about our Veteran Service Office, and I won't take much of your time. I gave you this handout just to kind of show you, and if you read it across, I'll kind of go over it real quickly with you. If you notice, we've got 4,128 veterans accounted for in Loudon County, which is a great number, and we're seeing a lot more coming in every day. On the CMP, which is the next column, that stands for compensation and pension. And right now, we have done 37,858 million in compensation for Loudon County, which is wonderful. I mean, and compensation and pension includes things such as a disability that a veteran has, burial allowances, pension payments, or even dependency or indemnity. So that's very important for our veterans too. If you also see it's a miscellaneous column, and that can go into different aspects of education or transportation services. So for the total, it's 53,229,000. We are averaging, in the next column over, we are averaging getting our veterans of Loudon County $9,172 a month for our veterans in Loudon County. That's kind of what we're averaging right now, which we are above the state average. So we're very proud of that. That is something that we haven't done in the past, is be above the state average. And we are above the state average now. And then you see we have miscellaneous, 3,724 with our total of $12,895. That means that we are, actually getting for our veterans, that's the average for all things, including education and things, is $12,895. So our office is growing, and we've got a lot of veterans coming in. We've been doing by appointments because we have so many walk-ins. So with the added person, that is gonna help a lot. With us being, with just us and GED being in that building, it's kind of hard to jump up when you're with a veteran to go and answer the door. And we don't have anybody in the lobby to, take those calls. So I'm very appreciative of this commission looking at adding another person there. And like he said, I am part-time. Ron Hudson, which is the director out there, he is full-time, and he is a veteran, and a veteran has to be in the office for the office to be certified. So I'm very appreciative. Any questions about this?
So is that $12,895 monthly or annually per veteran? What is that?
Yeah. Actually, what it comes out is we're averaging about $12,895 monthly.
That's what your office is producing for our veterans.
Huh?
That's what your office is producing for our veterans?
Yes.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Yeah.
And beyond just our veterans too, is also, we're seeing more and more widows of veterans come forward. So,
Yes. Yes.
Receive that help as well.
Yes, and one of my goals is, I'm finding that we're not getting enough information out into the community that we're there. And that has been a goal of mine, and we've been trying to work around it, but I've been so busy taking veterans that I haven't been able to get out like I needed to go to some of these places, like go to the senior center or go to different organizations and hand out the information, because we have a lot of people that don't know that we're there and the services that are provided. I've got several word of mouth widows actually will tell one widow, oh, you need to go talk to, Kelly at the Veteran Service Office or Ron and things like that. So we really need to get that information out. We have redone our pamphlet for the Veterans Office, and we're trying to get those distributed out into the community too.
Can you email us all copies of that?
Yes, I'll be glad to.
Pretty please.
Well, I didn't bring any, I'm sorry, but
Digital-
I will make sure
digital
you get
bet.
some.
Thank you, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you, Kelly, for your hard work.
Well, thank you, Chase.
Thank you for taking care of the
If you'll
veterans.
get some, I'll put them at the office in the
Yeah.
folders upstairs.
Yeah, I took some to the mayor's office too, so I've got to take some to other places. Okay.
Is walking into your office the only way you identify a veteran in the county?
What do you mean walking into my office?
I'm a veteran, am I on your list?
No, Just
in other
walking
words-
in, no, it's when you get signed up. Like, if you come into my office and I sign you up and do a claim, then you're tallied into my, so we really probably have more than 4,100
So
employee
your
veterans.
outreach has gotta cover the county to reach guys like me
Yes,
that don't know you're there,
right,
okay?
right.
Now you know, Rich.
Now you know.
Yeah.
Well, I knew she was there, but
Well, they work very close with Post 12135, their veterans job
Yes.
fair every year too. That helps get
Yes,
just
There was a-
names.
all the American Legions and things, and we do a veterans community fair too.
there was a big presentation by your director out of the village 2 or 3 years ago.
Yes, he's coming back in August.
Yeah, he went through everything available, soup to nuts. I remember going to it and listening to it. I don't qualify for 99% of it, but it was worth going to and hearing.
Well, and it's always good to keep up with it too, because legislation is always changing, and they're adding things on, just like in the PACT Act.
Well, I just read an article that across the board, it's gonna be a 6% raise for veterans.
Yes. Yes, it is.
And that's not chump change.
But it's not. Thank you, guys. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you have
Thank you,
any
Kelly.
veterans around, send them to us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Billy Pickle, come on up here and tell us about the road list.
The titular head of the Loudon County Republican Party there.
You all should have gotten the road list and an inventory list, current inventory list. I need those two items, filed in the clerk's office.
We need to vote on it,
You need to vote on the road list,
not the inventory list.
but not the inventory list. It's a file job. I looked over the law today to see.
Any major changes on the road list?
No, there was, and this is something y'all can discuss, between now and meeting time to vote on it. And let me know, you can email me, if you have any questions about these. But, Hutton Road, Lou Goddard Lane, Pine Grove Circle, Steel Road and Tarwater Road, those are all in the 3rd district over in Greenback. The city has annexed both sides of the roads, sometime back. And I feel like those are city streets now with them on both sides of the road.
Well, I got a question about that. Is a road a county asset? In our audit, does it list Bill's Chapel Road as a county asset?
So the assets are maintained through purchasing, however,
What's the acronym? What's our
GASB,
Gatsby, that's what I'm thinking of.
General Accounting Standards Board, we have to keep up with fixed assets and capital assets through purchasing and through our accounting software. But as far as I know, I think audit puts a little blurb about it into our audit, but I don't think it defines each individual road, if that's your question.
I'm not saying define each individual road, but like, for instance, is Bill's Chapel, whatever road, is it a county asset?
Whatever road list that he gets approved, that is incorporated into the asset system.
There you go.
Is
Okay.
that,
Yeah, I just want to know if it was a county asset.
So if Greenback takes over these you just talked about, we would lose that many off of our road list.
That's
You-
correct.
if you take them
They
off.
come off.
So Greenback would gain that asset, we would lose that asset.
I don't know about city rules, but I would imagine.
Well, I mean, if we don't own it anymore, it couldn't be considered a county asset
Do
anymore.
they have to accept the road? What if we abandon it and they don't?
You've had this list for a few days now, and you talked to me this morning.
We did. I just
I
asked.
appreciate you doing this.
Well, I didn't know
so much.
This is like way behind the sky stuff. I just.
Well, I love pie in the sky stuff, but it
Yeah.
always happens right here. I'll get back with you on that. Yeah, I know. But also, let me add to a road in the 1st district, River Road, which was found back in the 80s, was in the city. You're loving this, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely, it's wonderful.
And, Pine Top Street and with the redistricting, I don't know if that's in the second or the.
Second, it's in the second.
Pine Top Street, cities got both sides of it. There's one parcel on the corner of Highland Park Drive and Pine Top Street that is still county. And I imagine they get that off their, Highland Park Drive road frontage is how they was able to stay.
Billy, have we paved that section of River Road since the city took it over, probably?
That I couldn't tell you. I would imagine, possibly. I haven't been superintendent, and I haven't worked for the administration. Unless it would have been involved.
He can't take the wall.
Early 2000. And at that time, I wouldn't be in a position to know for certain without getting through finance and finding those records. So,
Mr. Pickle informs me, for those of you who've been asking, that next week they're supposed to start the repairs on Davis Lane
yes,
at long last.
it'll probably start raining, it ain't raining.
I don't care if it rains. They need to be up there working in the rain.
snow,
Snow,
yeah.
sleet, I don't care. Just get some equipment first, start digging something up.
I would love to get a blizzard next
Those people have been very, very patient.
A blizzard, we don't need that either.
Oh, sorry.
You don't have your new equipment yet, do
We
you?
don't have our new, soft shredders or snowplows for a blizzard.
Not for a while, right? Not at least until way later into the year.
You're done. You're done.
Thank you.
See you, Billy, August 5th, it'll be on the agenda for the road vote.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. Next up is Commissioner James, he's not
Mr.
here.
Chairman, I'll be handling that for, Commissioner
Okay.
James. 911 Record Rose White sent this out to myself and, Mr. James a couple or 3 weeks ago. It's a totally non-anything, contrary to what you might think. There's no salary, there's no money tied to it. I believe it started in Jefferson County. We took the Jefferson County resolution, and I don't have it in front of me. Joe was gonna pull it up, but I don't see it now. But basically, all it does is it changes the title of 911 dispatchers. Currently, they are considered clerical. And the 911 people, the 911 board, the 911 dispatchers, everybody will tell you they are far more than just clerical. Everybody be sure and read it between now and the 5th. But nothing changes as far as anyone's status. It's more of an honorary, to give them the credit for what they do rather than to have them deemed as clerical. So there's nothing big, there's nothing scary about it, nothing changes. I know several counties have done it already and others are doing it. We're one of those that are in the doing it process. So for Mr. James, I would ask that this be on the agenda on, August 5th for us to handle that one.
I just put it there.
Okay,
Okay. That it?
it's good. I'm good now.
Commissioner Quillen?
Okay, I have a few concerns about, our meeting prior to this with our vote and with the tax levy itself. I think we gotta get this stuff right with the meeting. We had a conflict of interest. We didn't have a conflict of interest. We did have one. That all became very, very confusing. I know it was very chaotic, but we gotta get this stuff right, and I hope it was right. It's very confusing to watch and to try to decipher. But what I did catch and what a lot of people in the community did catch was the motion that was made and that was approved is different than what this signed resolution is. The motion during the meeting was to change the property tax rate to 1.7683 on each $100,000 of taxable property outside the city limits. That's what got approved. And
That was different, Rosemary, because when I made the motion and I had put it up for a vote, we were part 2 of 3 parts on budget adoption, tax rate. The motion I read was to increase the tax rate from 15183 to 17683. Had nothing to do with the assessment.
Well, the motion we voted on was what Commissioner Whitfield put before us.
There is-
It was a motion and a second.
There is no doubt that I made a mistake in my wording in the motion. to fix the tax levy, no doubt.
Then it needs to
I
get,
will make the motion to correct that when we approve the minutes on our August 5th meeting.
well, it needs to get fixed, because right now our county is probably almost bankrupt, because, you know, I think on a $100,000 house, the tax rate's 44 cents.
Yeah,
So-
nobody, thought that was what it was. I mean,
I know what
And he
nobody
just
thought,
said it was gonna
but,
get fixed,
but I know
so-
what we approved,
yeah,
and I
well,
know
he just said it's gonna get fixed in
what
a
got
minute.
signed, and I know
So-
they're ready to send out the tax records, and we gotta fix this, and we gotta do better with this.
No doubt. I will fix that on August 5th. Or August.
Okay, so let her go. Anything else?
I think I'm good. We can get it right for the taxpayers in our community.
Mr. Waller?
Yeah, so, up in my end, we have a development, farmstead, and, it's in the UGB, so the city of Lenore City has approved the final plat on it here recently, but there was a number of TDEC violations. So I got a problem with things being approved when there's a number of violations. So what I want to discuss is, that there's no applications reviewed or permits issued if there are known violations, county, state, or federal, at a project inside the county, under our jurisdiction. Jim, what's your thoughts?
Let me, before Jim thinks about anything there, this is one of those that we've addressed this a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago now. This is one of those developments that's in the county, but it's in the Lenore City UGB. So the approvals go through the Lenore City planning, but the building permits and all that stuff comes through the county planning. This is one of the reasons we said we're not gonna do that
I
anymore.
thought we changed that.
We did, but this one predates that.
Okay, I'm with you.
This is up there on Bill's Chapel, Quail Hollow, Farmstead, the stuff that's been going on for 5 or 6 years, approved 10 years ago, I guess. So what just happened, they have several very serious violations with water runoff and things like that. They were aware, Lenore City was aware, but they went ahead and granted, approved phase 4 development. Nowhere near ready, phase 2, phase 2. Nowhere near ready, retention ponds, none of them were working. So I support what he's wanting to do 100%. Lenore City can approve it all day, but they're not gonna get a building permit from Jim Jenkins until they correct all of the violations from, like he said, state, federal, or county. Right now, it's state violations, and I think they're having a big meeting about it, aren't they, Jim? Come on, if you want to tell something.
And I'm saying known violations. I'm not saying they go out and have to nitpick and.
Yeah,
look
this is
for
big
things.
stuff.
This is for like known violations.
Yeah, not to speak out of turn, but Commissioner Waller, what it is with this subdivision, the erosion sediment, stormwater, all that stuff is regulated by the state of Tennessee through the SWIP permit. Prior to the final plat, in communication with Collins at Lenore City, I reached out, Phil Bunch and I have been inside. Phil works in the planning office, deals with the stormwater and all that stuff. And there were several areas that we had concerns with. We requested Ms. McFall with the state of Tennessee Department of Environment Conservation come do a site assessment. And this wasn't minor things, for lack of better words. This was things where she went out and it's actually caused an action where they have to come into a hearing of corrective action with her property. So she was under the impression that really a final plat really would not have been best to be issued with the conditions of this property at the time. So as you consider this action, for not issuing permits where they have violations, there's gonna be minor things throughout the development where the state regulates it, and you go do some sill fencing down, or you need to come readdress this, or maybe it's time to clean out the detention pond. That may not be something we'd wanna hold up, but at this point, this on this subdivision here, until they got the state satisfied and they were in compliance with their discharges into the stream at that location and the stormwater infrastructure put back in place where they eliminated risers out of the sediment ponds, I would be supportive of holding up on that until it's corrected.
Well, Jim and I
We
were
don't
talking.
want these things to get away, to be finalized out, to be finished out, and then everybody's fighting How are we gonna?
Who's gonna fix it? We've had one of those, right?
Jim and I will get together between now and the 5th and work on the verbiage we need, and we'll discuss it again on the 5th.
It seems crazy to me if a developer can't get it right on phase one, why you would go ahead and issue, notice to proceed on the next phase if they're in
Yeah, I
violation
mean,
of
they're just doing it in phases and, we're disturbing earth, we're creating large developments. It's key though that, they submit a plan to the state, tells them how to implement that plan, and then the state does their inspections at their end. But fortunately, she came out to this side as it was final and saying, hey, there's some serious issues. And the state will get those corrected, but at least, even with a final plat, if you also choose, we won't issue permits until it is corrected.
But we did this about 9 years ago or so. Of course, it wasn't so much, well, I guess it was, stuff not get completed, no more permits till then, it's very effective.
Yeah.
That would get their attention.
It does, it does.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Do you want me to put space on the agenda? August
Please,
5th?
yes, absolutely.
Okay. Next up is accounts and budgets. Aaron Rice.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The budget committee recommended all of these items. There was a consideration of a request to approve and accept multiple grants. One is at the senior center for an amendment that was for last year, but they're giving it to us this year. It's approximately $69,000. There's a second one for the senior center that they want to apply for that's up to $100,000. In the sheriff's office, it was the SRO grant for $675,000, the TCI grant for $15,000, and the mental health transport grant, which we don't know the amount of at this time. There was a grant for Sessions Court for a court security grant program for $22,000, and then the Petway grants for FY25 for the libraries.
And none of them had a match.
None of them they were all no matching funds.
Yep.
Correct. We good? Okay. All right, the next thing that was done is an amendment to capital projects fund for some, it just fell right out of my head. It's for the health department to update some, not update some things, to fix some things from a freeze that happened a few years ago, but that's.
Years ago?
That's,
What's this wonder?
this is
Oh.
using insurance money that we've received. It's an amendment. Okay. And then there was a recommendation to fund the full-time veteran officer that Mayor Bradshaw spoke about earlier and Ms. Brewster. And then there was, this is the second reading of the ARPA funds for the $3,000 to the Humane Society from Mr. Cullen and $10,000 to Loudon Diamond Club from Mr. Randolph and Mr. James. This is, like I said, it's just the second reading out of ARPA funds. There was also a recommendation to do a rural school interfund capital outlay note for $450,000. And what will happen is this is to pay for the bidding and the fire marshal fees on the new school and the multiple projects that were included as part of, recently. Well, at Philadelphia Elementary, Greenback Auxiliary Gym, Greenback Football Stadium, and then there was Loudon High School CTE edition, but that's being paid out of AFT funds. But what will happen with this is that we will take the money out of county general fund and we will put it into general capital projects, and then rural debt will reimburse county general. But this will be a resolution to actually do a loan in that manner so that we can pay for those fees.
You said put it in general capital, is it not more than,
Education capital.
Education capital.
I apologize.
don't wanna get words wrong here.
Yes, I'm sorry. Okay, and then there were line adjustments and amendments in county general fund, Fund 115, public libraries, and then ARPA for 127. In 101, it's mostly grants, and then there was an amendment to increase the sheriff's department for their vehicles because the original budget had it in opioid funds, but we can't use the opioid funds for this manner. So anyways, it's mostly for the grants, for the cars, for the sheriff's department, for the new veterans office. The veteran service officer, trying to think of what else will hit. but they'll all be included in your spreadsheets. In Fund 115, it's just a line adjustment, which is public libraries. In ARPA, this is to reestablish the appropriations that were left over at the end of last year that still need to be spent. Okay? Now, there was also a recommendation to fund $33,000 out of ARPA for
Cameras.
yeah, something at the courthouse.
Wiring
for
and
Mr.
prepare for all the
Wiring.
new stuff at the courthouse.
Okay,
All the
so,
audio visual stuff.
Yes, that didn't exist
All the
before.
AV equipment.
so, that'll come out of ARPA. And then capital projects, they recommended the shells for the vaults, for the wheels of $69.86 and $500 for painting at ag. But those two items will come out of the capital projects money in Fund 171. And that's all. Thank you, Mr.
Okay,
Chairman.
thank you. Anything else?
Let's go home.
I'll call the meeting adjourned.
Yes, but I got a question for you too. Thank you.
Yeah.